Welcome to Wargroove. We're gonna get every bonus objective on this map on hard mode, and this is the best way to do it. This strategy involves around deliberately damaging your commanders. That's right, you want to damage your commanders on purpose. So make sure that you can attack the most powerful things with your commanders, like the knights, the golems. You want to put damage onto your commanders on purpose as much as you can. The reason we're doing this will become apparent later. But trust me, the strategy works a lot better if your commanders are very, very damaged. Alright, I'm gonna get rid of this archer because it's really strong. We're gonna attack this archer too. And I think I'm gonna have this frog attack this sword here because I want to keep it nice and safe on this side of the map. This is just how I like to open. You don't have to open exactly like I do. And as you can see, we're getting a lot of damage on Pistol and Lytra. So they are going to be our two walls for a strategy we're going to use in a little bit. Alright? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is use Lytra here to kill the knight, because why not? Put lots more damage on this golem, lots more damage on the golem. And somebody, I'm going to use the frog for this, has to trigger this on this turn. We want this to happen as soon as possible, so our commanders don't have any time to recover. We want them to have lots and lots of damage on them. There's a reason we're hurting our commanders on purpose, and I'm about to show you why. It has to do with the units that spawn on this bridge and making sure things go really well for us. Alright, I'm going to use my golem to take out this golem. We need the golem and the frog to make it to the end, but I am playing safely enough with them that that won't be a problem. All the rest of my units will start going this way, so that they can deal with the eventual knights. Alright, I'm just going to end my turn here because we've got everything we need. Now, as you can see, a bunch of units spawn here in almost random positions. But it's going to take them a little while to get off the bridge, so we have a little bit of time. As you can see, they can't possibly make it off the bridge this turn. I'm going to attack into the dog with Pistol here. And I'm not going to put Lytra in the archer range yet. I'm also not going to put Rom. I'm going to put Rom here. Yeah, I'm going to start moving... Yeah, here is good, here is good. The reason I'm being so careful with this is because I don't want any of them to attack me this turn. My plan is to seal them on the final layer of the bridge and make it so that they just can't possibly get out, and they can't possibly defeat themselves by attacking me. That last part is really important, and it's why we damaged our commanders. Alright. Now, we want to be a little bit careful on how we do this so we don't lose our commanders by mistake. But generally, if you did this about right, there shouldn't be any danger of that. Next turn, all the units will fall. The archers are on this side, so I'm going to put Pistol here and not attack anything. This means even if the sword attacks me, it will live. I'll put Lytra here and do the same thing, and Rom in the middle. I'm not going to do anything with Rom. The idea is the sword should attack these and live, and even if both archers attack Lytra, which they can't because they can't reach, Lytra should be able to live anyway, so even with not great RNG, you should be fine there. Alright. I'm just going to have the rest of my units clean this up, because they need to get ready for this bridge, which is about to happen. I am going to use my golem to fight it. It should be tanky enough that it won't die here. Gonna end my turn? Alright, now this turn is critical. You need every single one of these units to stay on the bridge and not die. Unfortunately, sometimes they attack Rom anyway. Usually they go for Pistol, but sometimes they attack Rom anyway. If that happens, you'll only get 3 units taking the plunge instead of 4, meaning you have to cause one of the pikes on this bridge to take the plunge. I'm going to show you that in this video because it's more difficult. But if the sword attacked Pistol instead and lived, what would have happened instead was all 4 would take the plunge, and we wouldn't need to worry about that anymore. I can basically just run away from this fight now. It is done. I don't need to worry about it. They're all going to fall and take the plunge. What I need to do now is make absolutely sure that one of the pikes over here takes the plunge, and to do that, I'm going to get ready to fight. Oh, I didn't attack this sword. I should have done that. Well, I guess that'll just show you that even with, like, mistakes and bad play, this is still doable. Alright, so 3 units took the plunge. We got 3 units to fall off the bridge here. We're gonna need some more. Here come the enemies, and remember, we need at least one of them to stay on the bridge, because, unfortunately, like I said, we didn't get the rolls we wanted. I'm attacking a lot with the frog. As long as it doesn't die, that's fine. Just, you know, be careful and be reasonable. Lytra's taken a lot of damage, so I'm just going to use her to clean up weaker units. In the meantime, though, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, the knight can get off the bridge, but I'm going to allow that to happen, and just threaten to do big damage to it if it does. This will make it less likely that the knight actually goes through with it and goes off the bridge. I'm trying to just scare the enemies, saying like, I'll do big damage to you if you come here, and as a result, I can maybe get them not to come here and stall a little bit. I just need to keep one on the bridge. And this is not that hard to do. It should definitely be possible. And remember, if you got all 4, if you were lucky over here and got all 4, you don't need to worry about this, you can just kill these units. You see, by positioning outside of their range and making it so I'll hit them if they move into me, the enemy gets very frightened and they don't want to attack me. This is a great way to make sure they stay on the bridge longer without damaging your units. Alright, this pike looks like they'll probably be stuck on the bridge for all eternity, as long as I can keep it from moving too freely. What I want to do now is, first, I want to make sure I clean up the rest of these units. I think I can safely hit this pike with pistol, and I'm going to take it out. I'm not really worried about that sword. There's a whole bunch of things over here that can kill my frog, which really scares me. Actually, I got very unlucky. You might want to keep something over here to make sure that they can't just sweep your frog. I'm going to retreat my frog over here where there's a lot of defense, and pull this pike closer to it, so that the pike can guard it, and that way it'll be okay. You can use strategies like this if you're in trouble. Remember, the frog is a very versatile unit. Alright, I'm gonna do big damage to this archer, this pike, and use this archer to grab this potion to heal everyone, including my frog. That'll make me have a much better turn overall. As for Rom, I just kind of want to get Rom out of the knight's range. I don't really care about the knights so much, I just want to keep one pike on there so that it takes the plunge. And I'll use this sword to finish off this archer, and now my frog is totally safe. But if you get a little bit luckier with spawns or keep something over here, you don't really have to worry about doing advanced things like this. You should probably be fine anyway, just make sure to keep the frog alive. I'm kind of showing you what it looks like if you get the worst luck possible and you get caught in a bad position. But generally speaking, you're gonna get 4 units dropping here, and when you do, you can just move the golem to the bottom, and it's perfectly fine. Alright, we've already gotten everything we need, and I'll tell you why. We scared this pike into moving in a way that it can't possibly get off the bridge. There's nothing it can do to get off the bridge. In fact, all of these units are going to take the plunge. We did such a good job scaring them. So because of that, I don't need to do anything. We're going to get 6 units taking the plunge. Forget, like, 4 units. We're going to get 6. So this is how you do it, basically, right? This is the best strategy you can use. All right. That knight has the potential to do a lot of damage to me, which I really don't like. It's really, really useful to save Rom's Groom for the end, to get more movement speed, but don't be afraid to use it to pick off a dangerous knight or something if you need to. You actually don't really need it for the end game. Alright, now I'm just going to finish by cleaning up all these units in the bottom that I was ignoring before. And then once I do that, I'm going to want to move all of my units to the bottom. Maybe be a little careful with my frog. The reason is that we're going to need everybody to run away. We're going to want the golem, the frog, and all of the commanders to run away. Alright, 4 units took the plunge. And there's my star for it. Now I just need everybody to escape. I did the math there, so the frog wouldn't die, don't worry. Yeah, don't take risks like that if you don't know the math. But I did do the math, that's why I knew I could put it there. Okay, so now you need to be a little bit careful here, because every movement you make now has an impact on the game. You want to move your pieces as far as possible. Don't even attack things with your commander unless it lets you move them even farther towards the south. You want to get everything over there, right? You want to get the golem over there. You want to move everything as far as you can. I'm not going to attack that sword. I'm going to run this way. Now, as far as the archers and everything else, you don't fight this. You don't ever fight this. You leave that alone. You let that do whatever it does. You position units here to scare it, right? We talked about that. But you don't fight it. And the reason that you don't fight it is because that bridge is not going to go down. It's not going to go down. They will get to you. You just want to stall them for as long as possible so everyone can escape. Alright, so right now they're spawning a bunch of units. That's going to be really annoying. But what we're going to do is ignore all of those units, okay? We're going to ignore all of those units. Our goal is to just get out of here. I'm not going to hit that sword. I don't care about it. I want my golem protecting my frog from danger. We're going to bring Rom down here, alright? And now with these archers and everything, I will start to do a bit of damage to these units, trying to distract them. Trying to ward them off a little bit. I'll retreat my pikes just because it's kind of useless for them to die here. I mean, I can put it there, maybe stall the golem for a turn. Maybe, but... yeah, I'll retreat them a bit just to stall for my other units. But the idea here is you're just stalling. You want this to happen as soon as possible. And that golem is going to be the only golem that has the ability to catch up to you. So keep that in mind. All the other golems will not be able to do that. As long as you're running at full speed. Okay? Alright, so we've got one turn until this bridge fails to fall, alright? It's not really gonna fall, though. Meaning next turn, we can run away. So right now, what we want to do is as much damage as possible to this golem. I'm gonna use Chain Reaction 2, which I've been saving this whole time. This'll let Lytra attack the golem without actually attacking it, and it won't hit any of my units because it's not chained to them. With the golem that weak, I have a lot less to worry about. I could hit it with Rom here, but that would put Rom in range of all the dogs. I really don't want to do that. Maybe I'll hit it here. And then I guess we could pike crit it. If you're gonna hit the golem, make sure you do a lot of damage so its crit condition doesn't mess with you. And make sure you're always protecting your frog. You want to make sure that it is 100% impossible for anything to hit your frog. I'm not even going to attack this because I don't want my frog to be in danger. Alright? Alright, now we get the magical turn where Nuru appears. The bridge falls, except it doesn't because Nuru probably hacked it. All the bridges reappear magically, and we have our escape route. Now the game is on. Nuru will summon a unit to chase you. It's normally not that big a deal. Again, just make sure that your frog is safe. Frog safety is our #1 priority. And once we get all our units onto the bridge, we should be fine. You see, that I made sure to damage that golem enough so the crit wasn't a big deal, otherwise my golem would have taken a lot of damage there. It looks really bad, like there are a lot of units coming for us, but we've actually achieved everything we wanted. We got 6 units, not even 4, to take the plunge. And now we can just run away. Start by moving your frog, because it's your slowest unit. Then move your furthest back commander, and make sure you position units on all sides like this. That will make it impossible for them to be attacked on more than one side. The golem can just run away and you're good to go. Also, if the golem has a lot of health, you can kind of use it as a commander in this wall, especially when one of your commanders starts taking too much damage, like Rom did right there. That looks pretty good. As you can see, even though they have a lot of golems and commanders chasing us, they're nowhere near able to catch up. We will have won the game before they get anywhere close if you're using this strategy. Lots of golems spawned, but I'm good. We move the frog as far as we possibly can. You could pull units, but you don't have to. Just get everybody out of there. Rom might be a little bit low on health, but the only thing that can hit him is a frog. If there was a more powerful unit here, I might put the golem in front, but I don't need to at all, so I'm just going to put the golem here instead. There's nothing they can do to catch me. I am so far ahead. Only these very weak dogs can just destroy themselves trying to attack me. All we need to do now is wait for the enemy turn to finish. I'm going to hold right-click to speed them up a little bit. and then we basically win the game. But wait, there is one more thing you need to be careful of, and I've been saving this for the end, so that, you know, if you watch to the end of the video, you get important advice. We need to make sure that the frog and the golem are well inside the glowing area. The reason is that if you don't, you'll see why in just a second, and you might actually remember this if you've played this before. Also, don't be afraid to use Lycra's Groove to help you move units in, or Rom's Crystal Heart, for example, to help him move even more. I'm already inside, this is just overkill, but I felt like doing it just to show you why it's useful. And now watch what happens. The bridges explode after you do this. If you kept your frog and your golem here, they could be in a bit of trouble, so make sure you get them to the end. Now I would like that sweet, sweet other star, and we did it. We got all 3 stars on hard mode. I hope this helped. Oh, and let me know which mission you had the most trouble with in the comments.